I personally also have struggled, like, since I became a mother, with, periods of, depression, anxiety, or depression, or like a combination of both, as she describes. I personally have struggled over the years with these things, and I've managed to sort of cope with them without medication, and so I wanted to talk with you about ways in which I've coped with, this sort of anxiety, depression, sort of motherhood-related kind of thing, without medication. But first of all, I just want to say a little disclaimer before I say these sort of like changes in lifestyle that you can make in order to cope with depression and anxiety, without going on medication, is that I'm the proud daughter of a psychiatrist, and I believe that there are situations in which psychiatric medication can be very helpful, situations in which, in fact, it's, recommended and even necessary for a mother to go on medication. Okay, so with that said, I just want to tell you the things that the lifestyle changes that I've made that have really helped me pretty much overcome anxiety and depression in my life. Okay, so the first thing is, about 6 years ago, I made some big changes in my diet, big changes in lifestyle and diet. The first big change I made was that I used to wake up in the morning, and I would wake up with like a big cup of strong coffee with like two heaping tablespoons of sugar. Okay, so basically that was how I'd wake up every day. And about 6 years ago, I just totally cut out caffeine. I did it gradually. I would go from a heaping tablespoon of coffee to like a little bit less, to a little bit less, to a little bit less, until basically I was putting in almost no coffee, and then just totally stopped drinking coffee and caffeinated tea. And it really, really helped. It really, really helped to help me feel calmer, cutting out caffeine. Okay. The next thing is that, and this is something that I'm happy I can say it on video and on person, so that you can't throw any like rotting vegetables at me. I cut out sugar. Okay, 6 years ago, I stopped eating sugar, and I stopped eating white sugar. I stopped eating brown sugar, and it really, really had a tremendous, tremendous impact on me in terms of stabilizing my mood and overcoming anxiety, and just making me just like a much more stable mood kind of mom. Probably many of you who are hearing this, then you're thinking, there's no way that I could possibly give up sugar. Like, I have to have sugar. So I want to tell you how I did it. So sugar, it's just like a drug. It's an addiction, and so like any addiction, you have to go through a difficult period to break the addiction. So basically, for like 2 weeks, it was really hard, and I've heard this as like sort of the standard thing, that 2 weeks is like the really, really tough period. But once you get those 2 weeks, though, it's much, much, much easier, and you're pretty much home free. And so what I'd recommend to you, for people who really love sugar and they can't imagine not eating sugar, is to push yourself, really hold yourself back for those 2 weeks, and then at the end of those 2 weeks, try eating some sugar. Try eating, that Snickers bar that you've been dreaming about, and you'll see it will make you feel so awful and so anxious and so stressed out that it will not be hard for you to really, really stay free of sugar. That's what I did. I stayed off sugar for a few months, and then somebody brought this amazing, amazing cake for Shabbat. And so I thought, okay, good. So I won't eat sugar during the week, but on Shabbat I'll eat whatever I want. So I ate a big piece of this cake, and that night I was so anxious and so stressed out and so wired, I could not get to sleep. It took me until about 3 o'clock that morning, and that was 6 years ago, and I have not touched sugar since, and I haven't wanted to. The next thing is that probably all of us have heard about the importance of exercise. And probably many of you have heard about that even like that exercise, it can be more effective than like an antidepressant, and that it really, really can affect your mood and really can really help you in terms of mood. So I've been hearing this for years, and so I thought for many years that I was getting enough exercise, because I would go every day. My older daughters went to nursery school in a faraway neighborhood, so every day basically I was spending like an hour, even an hour and a half, walking around and picking them up and bringing them home and bringing them there and bringing them there. But I will tell you, it really, it doesn't, it helps a little bit. It's not what you need. When people talk about like the endorphin rush and like, you know, like it be like exercise being like an antidepressant or even more effective, what they're talking about is really, really like what I found for myself. I have to go to a gym. And so I really was never ever a gym going type of person. I was never an athlete. I never exercised. But 3 years ago, I joined a gym. And I make sure I get there every day. I have to spend at least 15 minutes really, really getting my heart rate up. That means like 15, 20 minutes on a treadmill, on an elliptical, or if I can't get to the gym, I jog around around my living room like for 15 minutes. Yeah, like that's the only thing that helps. It's not enough to go on a stroll or it really, what I found for me, it's joining a gym, like really, really going quickly on a treadmill is what you need. Even walking, but it pushes you so that you get your endorphins going, and has made, I can't even tell you, it has made an incredible, incredible, incredible difference. I think before you spend money on a psychiatrist or on things like that, you know, spend money for a few months on a gym membership. And probably many of you will find that it will do a tremendous, tremendous amount to help you in terms of anxiety and depression, and help to stabilize your mood. The next thing is that I'm a real believer in homeopathy. I've been doing homeopathy for the past 6 years, and it doesn't make any sense to me. I've heard the explanations. It still doesn't make any sense to me, but I guarantee you that it works. It really, really works. It's helped me tremendously in terms of anxiety, in terms of, as I said, depression, stabilizing mood. It's helped me tremendously. If any of you are interested, if any of you live in the Jerusalem area, I have an excellent homeopath I would love to recommend to you. If you live outside of the Jerusalem area, as most of you do, I highly recommend, if you need some help in terms of like anything emotional, actually even anything physical, I recommend that you try and find your community a highly recommended classical homeopath, and it really can help. And also, I've seen it even work with young children who couldn't possibly be affected by the placebo effect, because I don't even tell them what I'm giving it to them for. It really, really changes things. It really, really works. Okay, so highly recommended. The last thing I want to talk about is that I think that many women struggling from depression, from anxiety, it's a certain type of woman. It's a women who are sort of starting out as moms, women who are mothers of very, very small children. Let's say mothers with 1 child, 2 children, 3 children underneath the age of 6 or 7. And those women, they're struggling, and it's very, very hard for them. But they are not getting the kind of help that they need, because they are thinking, you know, they look then at more experienced mothers with larger families, and they look at them, and they think, well, look at that mother. You know, look at that mother with 6 kids, 7 kids. She's managing, and why do I'm struggling. It's so hard for me. Well, the big difference is that when you have little kids, then you have no help. I have 3 small children. I have 3 children under the age of 6, but I also have 3 daughters over the age of 8. I have 3 children, but I also have basically 3 babysitting age daughters to help me. It will never, ever, like if you're the mother of teensy kids and you're on your own with them and taking care of them, I believe your life will never be this hard. Motherhood will never, ever be harder than this. Okay? If you're depressed, if you're anxious, if you're overwhelmed, you have good reason. Motherhood will never be this hard again. B'ezrat Hashem. So, what I want to say to these mothers, if you're in this situation, what I want to tell you is to get as much help as you possibly can. Get babysitting help, get cleaning help. Basically just do different things you can to take it easy. To give yourself, if you have to borrow money, if you have to, do whatever you can to get the help that you need so that you can function. Because as a very, very wise woman once said, if mom ain't happy, nobody's happy. If you're not taking care of yourself and you're not, and you're not doing well physically and emotionally, and if you're not taking care of your own needs, then your whole, not only are you going to suffer, your whole family's going to suffer.